So with the fall of Redfall, the weight of the Xbox universe rests on the shoulders of Bethesda's next AAA game, Starfield. The question is, can it deliver and save Xbox? Let's talk about it.
Star Collective. When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous, but we are not stopping.
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Because whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
What is good, guys? Welcome back to another discussion video, and today we are asking the question of whether or not Xbox's next AAA game that is slated for later this year, September 6th or 9th, can it deliver? Can it give that AAA experience that everybody is asking for? Because we all know Redfall just did not hit the mark. So the question is, can Bethesda, Todd Howard and his team, and Xbox deliver September 6th? Let's get into it. Now, let me just be honest here. When this game was first revealed with last year's showcase, when we had the gameplay reveal, I got hyped for this game. I'm not gonna lie, I got hyped for this game, and the reason for that is because I am a big Mass Effect fan from the original trilogy, not that Andromeda Mass Effect Andromeda. That can go bury itself 6 feet deep and not revive itself. I am a fan of the original Mass Effect trilogy, the action, space odyssey, AAA experience, and that is what I saw when I saw this gameplay reveal, and that is what I want. But with the recent rating summaries that was revealed for this game, and obviously with the track record that Bethesda has of launching buggy games, with the flop that was Fallout 76, I am becoming skeptical of whether or not they can deliver. And as gamers, we need to be skeptical because it's 2023. If you're on the Xbox platform or ecosystem, you as a gamer and as a consumer have the right to be skeptical, not spectacle. I don't know what I'm saying, spectacle. You have the right to be skeptical. And yeah, so let's talk about it. Can the game deliver? So first of all, we all know Bethesda's track record of launching buggy games on day one, where there is no NPCs, there's no content in the games. That was basically Fallout 76. And are we gonna have another Fallout 76 situation when Starfield launches? So far, 2 to 3 delays, not a good sign, but I will say this, I am happy that they delay the game because they know that it's not ready. So if you know that it's not ready, delay it, fix the problems that you've experienced, that you've seen, and deliver a better game. But the fact that it was delayed 2 or 3 times now, I do not want there to be another delay. And because it was delayed so much, I think the leniency that all gamers are going to have on Bethesda is very small, because you've delayed the game 2 to 3 times already, and I think they've had ample time to fix whatever needed to be fixed. And I hope Bethesda does not adopt that idea again, because they are infamous for it with Fallout 76, of launching now and fixing later. I hope that is not the case with Starfield, because I want a space odyssey. I want that AAA experience with this game. And Redfall just did not deliver. I'm being hopeful that they do deliver with this. Maybe I'm being too hopeful. But that is just the reality of it. If you look at current games that released this year, although great games, it's been a bad year for the performance state that these games released in. Look at Forspoken, look at Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor, and the most recent one, Redfall. All these games released and the performance on either PC or console was not great. And this raises the question of whether Starfield is going to follow that and become another statistic of games released where they have not been properly optimized. I mean, look at The Last of Us that released on PC, the PC port. It's absolutely broken. And what's crazy is that game is how old already? It's quite an old game. It comes from the PS3 era, even though it's the remastered, rebuilt version. The optimization of that game was just horrendous. So I hope we do not have the same. I do not hope that Bethesda and Starfield falls into that same category with this game, because at the moment they need the W, and this game needs to deliver. So the weight of the Xbox universe is actually on the shoulders of Bethesda, and we know Todd Howard is infamous for his 16 times the detail. Let's hope this game is actually 16 times the detail. With that being said, let's go on to the rating summaries that was revealed. This is where I'm a bit more skeptical. To be honest, this is where I'm a bit more skeptical. But let's talk about the good first. First of all, the game has been rated mature 17 plus because of blood, strong language, suggestive themes, use of drugs and violence. Now to me, in my opinion, that is great. A mature rating for this game is what it needs. It is for the mature audiences. It is going to therefore be like all other major AAA RPGs have been for matured audiences, like The Witcher 3, like Mass Effect. Yeah, like Mass Effect. So that's a good sign, right? Another good sign is that what they're saying here is that there will be it looks like there will be a first person and a third person perspective, right? So players will interact with various characters, they will complete quests and search for supplies while battling enemies, which is humans, robots, or alien creatures. So they will use futuristic guns, lasers, and axes. That is going to be cool. And explosives to kill enemies. Combat is fast-paced with frequent gunfire, cries of pain, and explosions. I said we first can speak about the good, right? So let's first speak about the good. So there will be attacks on enemies can result in blood splatter effects. Several environments depict blood stains on the ground around corpses. The game contains suggestive material in the dialogue and after sharing a bed with characters. So what does that point to? That you can build relations with other characters in the game, the same like Mass Effect and Witcher, which is great. I know everybody loves that. You create your own path, your own, romanticizing the other characters in the game. That is great. I'm happy with that. Especially the blood splatter, all the things. Though we did not see that in the gameplay reveal that they revealed at last year's showcase, there was no blood splatter scenes, if you think about it now. But hey, maybe that's why it got delayed. They added those things in. Then there is a fictional drag, which is Aurora, a prominent in the game, with a section involving players' characters working in an illicit drug lab. Players can also obtain Aurora by stealing or buying it from vendors. So that is the drugs that will, when you consume it, so you can let your character consume it, which will result in distortion effects on the screen. Okay, and the words F and BS appear in the game. Okay, so it looks like it's pointed at the more matured audiences, which is great. That is what Bethesda does. Now let's get into the concerns. This is where I'm a bit concerned from my end. This is my opinion. So like I said, I'm a big fan of Mass Effect. I want this game to be a AAA space odyssey action adventure. That just hits all the marks that I'm looking for. It just hits everything on the list. But when I read the first line, so this is an open world role-playing game in which players assume the role of a miner tasked with finding artifacts across the galaxy. Okay, so we are miners tasked with finding artifacts across the galaxy. Now we've seen from the gameplay trailers and footages that we've seen that you're mining various materials. You are you're building colonies, you can maintain those colonies and things like that. That sort of gives me the vibes of No Man's Sky, where you create your own adventure. But that's not what I want. So, is this Bethesda's No Man's Sky? I hope not. If it's an element that's similar in the game, that is fine, but I don't want a Bethesda version of No Man's Sky. We have No Man's Sky. I want that AAA cinematic action adventure space odyssey. That is what I want, guys. I don't know about you. Let me know if you're expecting that as well. But this way you are going to mine materials and things like that. If it's to upgrade your ship, your character, your weapons and things like that, that's completely fine. That is completely fine. I'm all for it. Do that, to do the grind and that. But I do not want a No Man's Sky. So like I said, if where you building the colonies and that is like side content, that is a replayability feature when you finish the main campaign, I'm all for that. To continue playing the game, to look after your colonies and things like that, I'm all for that. I do not mind it. But the second thing right here is combat is fast-paced. Now we've seen from the gameplay reveal trailer that combat was not fast-paced. The footage was running at 30 FPS or lower. And with the fall of Redfall releasing at 30 FPS, I think that Microsoft and Bethesda has to hit the nail on the head with this one and release this game at launch with 60 FPS. There's no compromise. Guys, we are in 2023. We cannot expect a first-person shooter game to release with 30 FPS. That is not playable. Like, come on. This is not Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is not a third-person shooter game. It is a first-person shooter. And first-person shooters are best played at 60 FPS and higher. We need to demand that it releases with 60 FPS minimum. With that being said as well, I believe Phil Spencer did confirm at the end of the interview, of his infamous interview, that Starfield will be 60 FPS. We can only hope so. We can only hope for that. I'm hoping that it releases with that. To get that W, they need to make sure it releases with 60 FPS. There's no compromise there. Everything else looks good. That's just my concerns with that. And my concerns with the track record of Bethesda releasing broken games and fixing it later. They've done it with Fallout 76, where they did so many players dirty with releasing an incomplete game and fixing it down the line. Starfield should not be that. Starfield should be a complete game, and you release it on day one where it is fixed. There is minor bugs, but not game crashing bugs to the point that the game is not playable. Yeah, that is just my 2 cents on this, guys. Also, another main component for me is that we all know that Bethesda games are not known for being the most graphically beautiful games out there. I mean, we've seen Fallout 4, Fallout 76. Now, I'm not a fan of those games. I tried Fallout 4, I tried Fallout 76. I just could not get into it. Something with it just did not stick with me. So it just wasn't appealing to me to play those games. Now we know that Bethesda has their own certain style of games. To me, this game looks much better. But as a massive AAA title, this game needs to improve on the facial animations. We can see here, they do not look bad. Where is it now? I mean, they do not look bad, but not all of them look great. Not all of it looks great. Some of it looks lifeless. They need to improve that facial animations. I mean, other games got it perfectly. I mean, they just did it perfectly. I don't know why Bethesda can't do that, but I don't want a soulless, lifeless NPC world or universe where the characters' faces are melting like Mass Effect Andromeda, the eyes are popping out and things like that. They gotta hit the nail on the head with that as well. This looks fine, but I know they can do better. I know they can do better. Another thing is we have the skill trees. This is another thing we've seen with Redfall, where the different characters with different abilities, it didn't change the playability of the game, or doesn't. There's no replayability sorry for my word, there's no replayability with the game if everything feels the same. So the skill tree here has to make the gameplay feel different in order for you to go back and do a second run through, a third run through. So they need to make sure they get that absolutely, they need to make sure they get that right. There's no compromise in that as well. You see, this here is another, like I said, with the colony outpost, you're building that. This gives me No Man's Sky vibes. I was not a big fan of No Man's Sky, so I don't want this to be the main focus of the game. I don't want it to be the main focus of the game. The game does look great. It could do better, but yeah. I know everybody is going to love the ship customization on this game, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Ship customization is going to be epic on this game. Let's just hope they don't cut back on what they revealed. I mean, this looks awesome. This makes sure that everybody has their own different experience, their own unique ship, their own style and things. I hope they don't cut back on this. And I'm fine with going to different planets to mine for materials, to change my ship to make it look awesome. Pump my ship, man. But yeah, like I said, we all know Tom Howard with his infamous 16 times the detail. Let's hope that's not the case with Starfield. But yeah, guys, like I said, will Starfield become another statistic like various other games? It will become, it will release with poor performance, it will be buggy, it will be broken on day one. Or are you hopeful for this game? Do you think there is hope with this game, that it will release, it will be a 10 out of 10? What are you looking most forward to this game? What do you want them to change in the game? Let me know that in the comments below, guys. Let's get a discussion on this. I just want to say thanks for everybody for the interaction on the last video. We spoke about Xbox IP issue. You can watch that somewhere over here. I'll leave a link to that. Yeah, let's get talking. What are you looking forward to most of this game? Do you think they will get the banger? They will get a 10 out of 10 with this game? And how will you be playing it? Will you be paying the $70 for it? Will you wait for reviews first? Or will you be playing a day one on Game Pass? I'll be playing a day one on Game Pass. But yeah, if there's a special edition out there and the game's great, I'd buy the special edition. But yeah, as always, guys, if you want more videos like this, discussion videos on Xbox content, PlayStation content, PC content, and streaming things in general, hit that subscribe button, guys. I do stream live on Facebook Gaming and YouTube as well, so be sure to check my channel out, and I'll catch you on the next video. As always, guys, Rampage out. Peace.